The Batmobile, Hulk hands, Spider-Man web shooters, Wonder Woman with 11 points of articulation. We're talking toys here, and the toy business is big business. And so I'm joined today by Jay Halstead, who is a toy expert on everything toys. Jay, tell us a little bit about what makes these so collectible and the comic book heroes going into toys.
A lot of it has to do with familiarity. Really, it's based on media pushing things, and on top of that, all the big business movies. You know, we've got Iron Man, Batman, they've all been made into movies. It drives the toy market.
All right, and what are some of maybe the more successful of the comic book line of toys?
Well, Star Wars had its own comic book back in the 70s when the movies came out. You've got G.I. Joe, you've got Batman is a huge seller. Has been for probably 45, 50 years since the comics have started coming out.
Right, and it helps having a movie release kind of coincide with toy lines and everything comes together.
Absolutely, it pushes sales way up.
Right, and so talking about sales, talking figures, you know, these are collectible items. How do you establish a value for something, especially if something is, say, 10 years out of manufacturing?
Really, it comes down to supply and demand. If there's a lot of people who want it, it's going to drive up the prices, and it's up to the manufacturer. Sometimes they don't know what, you know, how the demand is going to be, so they produce too few, and consequently the prices go way up.
Absolutely, because everyone wants it.
Absolutely.
You know, speaking of that, I know that there are a lot of import toys where you can only find, you know, specific to a certain country, and then those in other markets, it's a huge value.
Absolutely. Import is big business now. It's been like that for about 15 years, and Transformers especially, a lot of stuff that's not available anywhere but conventions and your local collectible shop.
All right, now we're talking collectibles. I know everyone knows the Simpsons comic book guy. It's a collectible only if it's in its box. Are there people not actually opening their toys when they buy them?
I would say it's probably a split 50-50. I would say that there are definitely a lot of adult collectors who never open the packages, and the other half would be children buying them for themselves for Christmas.
When I was a kid, Ninja Turtles, I had to get my hands on the goop and the everything. So.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, well, where would you find, say, a 70s comic book hero? You know, you loved him from the 70s. Where would you find it if it's out of print? Where would you go?
You've got three main places you can go. You've got, there are a lot of toy conventions, especially down here in the GTA. You've got, just like comic book conventions, absolutely. So you've got eBay. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that online, on the internet. Yeah. That's right. And now you've got something called Kijiji and Craigslist. That's probably just as big as eBay, and of course there's collectible stores.
All right, well, thank you very much for your expertise here, Jay.
Marty.
As you can tell, you can find your toys just about anywhere, and remember to think and keep your hands outside of the box. We'll see you soon.